Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have agreed a 65 million fee for Kai Havertz with Chelsea. The structure of payment is still being agreed upon, is still being negotiated upon, but the fee in the region of 65 has been agreed. Kai Havertz will be an Arsenal player this week. We can confirm. And of course, Arsenal are in talks to sign Jurrien Timber. We have asked for information on Javi Simmons. We'll be talking about Gundogan in this video as well. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Our first signing is incoming. It's going to be Kai Havertz. Very, very interesting that we thought Declan Rice was going to be the first player to step into Arsenal grounds, Arsenal territory this summer. It looks like it's going to be Kai Havertz. It's going to be our first signing of the summer. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Kai Havertz is a done deal. Kai Havertz to Arsenal is there. We are going to be discussing much about that. Right, let's dive into the story that was broken by David on Stein a couple of hours ago, who said that Arsenal are now very close with Chelsea to sign, very close to agree with Chelsea to sign Kai Havertz for a fee in the region of £65 million. Talks ongoing to finalize the structure, installments plus add-ons, personal terms in place, and subject to deal subject to deal being done. Medical will be scheduled very, very soon. The player is going to be an Arsenal player. And right down here, he says that Arsenal and Chelsea have agreed a £65 million fee for Kai Havertz. At the moment, the clubs are now working to finalize the structure of the impending deal, including potential add-ons and installments. Personal terms already in place, and the player is set to join Arsenal Football Club. That is it. Kai Havertz is going to Arsenal. Now, I reported yesterday from, I think it was from Fabrizio Romano and Florian Plettenberg, who had actually reported that it's very, very close. It was very close yesterday. And yesterday I reported and said Arsenal and Chelsea were inches away. I think it was the Mateo Kovacic deal that was still getting in the way. It was Chelsea negotiating with Manchester City. Today in the morning, I can confirm that Mateo Kovacic has now joined Manchester City from Chelsea. So with that deal out of the way, I kind of feel like the Manchester United deal for Mason Mount is a little bit behind. It's a little bit delayed. I don't think it can jeopardize our move for Kai Havertz. So our move for Kai Havertz has been second in line. The talks have been really positive. Arsenal going in there with an initial bid of 55 million, and Chelsea wanted 65 initially. Arsenal going back yesterday with 60 million. It was always going to get done. Now, I think Chelsea have pushed us a little bit into paying too much for Kai Havertz. There is no question about that. 65, I'm a little bit concerned. But the good thing is that all this money is not going to be paid in at once, and there will be add-ons. Arsenal could pay around 55 million, according to what I'm hearing. That is guaranteed payments, and then 10 million pounds in add-ons. So, good deal. And I'm really happy that our transfer window has started. Mikel yesterday was asking for early signings. He wants his players before pre-season. He wants his players before the 13th of July. And look, if you're Edu, how many days do you have? You have around 23 days now to get the signings in. You have until the 30th of this month, and then you have 13 days before the first game of preseason. So Edu has to be working very, very quickly. But I tell you what, this is a very good deal. There's so many people out there, especially rival fans, especially Chelsea fans, that are mocking Arsenal, are laughing at Arsenal, that, we've taken a deadwood player, we've taken a player who has actually failed to work out in the Premier League. But for me, this is such a very, very good deal. At a time when you don't have a lot of money to spend on 10 players, on 12 players in one window. Even if we wanted to, even if we had the money, probably FFP would be standing in our way. You want to sign players that are versatile. You want players to sign players with a lot of positional versatility. And that is what Kai Havertz is. If you play him in that number 8 pocket, where Jacques has been playing, you just want him to be arriving in the penalty area. I want to remind you, our last game of the campaign, Xhaka scored a brace and he missed a sitter. Now, I'm not saying Kai Havertz won't miss a sitter, 1 or 2 or 10. He will miss sitters, but I'm just trying to show you the importance of that role. And if you remember me last season, and maybe all the years before last season, I've always said that the technical ability, the talent that is required in that position, Xhaka does not possess. And I've already said it very, very openly. And even now, I know many Arsenal fans won't be happy with me, but I'll say it. I think Kai Havertz is a much better player going forward in terms of an attacking player. He's a much better player than, Granit Xhaka. And probably would be a much better player ever in his life than Xhaka will ever be in his life. Look, in terms of scoring goals, in terms of creating chances, I don't think Xhaka is anywhere near Kai Havertz. Havertz has had 3 bad seasons at Chelsea, and they needed to let him go, and he needed a new challenge. And trust me, Kai Havertz is going to be a success at Arsenal. I don't even care where he's going to play. If he plays in the 10, I think it's okay with that. I'm okay with that. If he plays in that 8, I'll be okay with that. I don't think he will play in the 8, because we predominantly play a 4-3-3 with 1 player at base of midfield and then 2 in front of him. But if it happens that we'll play a double pivot where maybe Odegaard sits in with Declan Rice, I expect Kai Havertz to be the most advanced player in that midfield. And for me, that is all I've been asking for. I want 2 midfielders that are heavily creative. Look at Manchester City with Kevin De Bruyne and Ike Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva as well. They have 3 highly creative midfielders. There is no way you survive. I was watching their game against PSG in the, was it semi-finals? No, Madrid actually, not PSG, but Madrid. In the semi-finals of the UCL. The show that Bernardo Silva put in that game is memorable. Now, everybody will be talking about Rodri, but the show he put in is memorable. And that is what Kai Havertz is all about. Look, Kai Havertz, maybe not single-handedly, but his solo goal, made sure that Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea have a second UCL title. That's what you need. I don't think that is what Xhaka provides. I don't think that is what Xhaka is all about. I don't think with a player like Gabriel Jesus, who is happy to drop into midfield and, pressurize players and do all the donkey work and dirty work, you need a player who's happy to make the runs into the penalty area and finish cleanly. That is Kai Havertz. So Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle to sign Kai Havertz. 65 million is the region we are talking about. And we are also saying that at the moment, we are finalizing those details, structure, and installments. Now, I think this should not be a very, very difficult. Chelsea will want some money in order to, run away with FFP. But I think they've got some money, haven't they? I think, has Conte left on a free? N'Golo Conte? I think he's gone on a free. But Kalidou Koulibaly has gone to Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's money there. There is money. I think Romelu Lukaku wants to stay in Europe. But if they could convince Romelu Lukaku to go to Saudi Arabia, they would make some good money. And there are going to be so many other players they can sell. I think they will sell Colwill, eventually to Brighton. I think they will eventually sell Mason Mount to Man United. So they will be fine with FFP. They will be very, very okay with FFP. And I'm looking at the signings they're making. Christopher Nkunku is not a signing of this summer, so I don't think that will affect them hugely. And then this Nicholas Jackson guy, 35 million euros, a release clause, which is not going to be paid up front, probably will be paid around 3-4 installments. They're all right. They're really, really doing all right, okay? So Kai Havertz to Arsenal, that is done. It's agreed. Let's wait and see. Medicals are scheduled. I will be providing... I'll be providing an update on that one if I get some more information from maybe David Onstein. Medicals scheduled probably this week, probably next week. We will see when they are booked for, and then we'll have a concrete conversation about that as well. Now, the other story is around Jurrien Timber, and according to, this is a very, very hard name from the Netherlands, Mike Weevil. I hope I've just got that one right. I mean, if I do apologize if the name, skipped, if the pronunciation skipped my tongue. Mike Weaver has said that Jurrien Timber has set his sights on Arsenal and is only concerned with them. Timber is also of interest to Bayern Munich, but even if they were to make an offer, it is highly questionable whether the player would be open to the move. Bayern Munich is one of the other clubs interested in signing prolific centre-back Jurrien Timber, but he has set his eyes and sights on Arsenal Football Club. Now, listen, one of the stories I never buy into is a player wants to join Arsenal only. That is an absolute lie. I will never, ever in my life say a player will not join any other club. Yes, he might want Arsenal only, it's okay, but I will never say that a player will not join any other club because he loves Arsenal. I will never say that ever in my life, because it is absolutely never true. There is no player who will turn down 300,000 per week to play for Arsenal. Never, ever in their life, right? So, at the moment, actually I think this came out yesterday, Ajax and Jurrien Timber agreed on a sell clause, on a sell-on clause, what you would call a buyout clause, last summer. So when the player actually agreed to sign a three-year deal, he agreed with Ajax that you will let me go on this buyout clause. However, that buyout clause does not get does not become active until 2 weeks from now. That means that his buyout clause starts in July. Okay. Now, I'm not really understanding this very well. One, if there is a buyout clause in this guy's contract, it might be either very expensive or very cheap, right? Because one, if it is very cheap, then us will just need to wait. Every person times wait until the release clause becomes active, and then we sign the player, we activate it. But then if it is very expensive, maybe I would understand why Arsenal are trying to negotiate their way before the release clause comes into action. Because again, when the release clause becomes active or ripe for activation, any club can actually activate it and then agree personal terms with Jurrien Timber. But at the moment, it is being reported from the Netherlands that the player would love to play for Arsenal, keen on joining, and at the moment, Bayern will rival Arsenal for the signature. Of course, I've never expected Arsenal to have a free run to Jurrien Timber. He's a quality centre-back. He's a huge centre-back. Actually, in terms of centre-backs, the other target that we are looking at, Edmond Tapsoba, a player that we have looked at for quite a very, very long time. Tottenham Hotspur have asked for information, according to Fabrizio Romano, on Edmond Tapsoba as well. Look, I want to see Edmond Tapsoba play in the Premier League. I really, really do. I want to see him play in the Premier League. I want to see what he's all about. I don't think he will sign for Arsenal. I don't think he's ever going to be an Arsenal player. But him and, Eric Romero? Is it Christian Romero, right? At Tottenham. That would be some, centre-back partnership, right? Under Ange Postecoglou. And I would love to see how they will set up. So, Edmond Tapsoba could be going to Arsenal. At the moment, our real target is Jurrien Timber. I'll be updating you on that one as well. Now, two other huge stories. One comes in from the Spain, and that is on this man, Ilkay Gundogan. It is being reported that Ilkay Gundogan is now close to agreeing a deal with FC Barcelona. He's choosing Barca over Saudi Arabia, Manchester City, and Arsenal. Yeah, Barca do still have that, magnetic field where they can just pull players and, swallow them. They're still strong. Their gravitational pull is absolutely still very, very strong. And look, I can never blame Ilkay Gundogan as a young player, probably in Germany. He's thought about playing for Madrid. He's thought about playing for FC Barcelona. That opportunity has not come until 33. If it has come now, why not take it? Definitely, he should take it. I don't think I'll be disappointed if he doesn't sign for us, and I don't think I'll be very, very angry because he has not signed for Arsenal. I won't be. I would love to see him at Arsenal. Like, he's one of those guys that I love very much in football. I think I love so many of the Borussia Dortmund players, to be honest. But at Borussia Dortmund, I've loved Marco Reus, Mario Götze, Robert Lewandowski, and Ike Gundogan very, very much. So if he goes to Barca, because I do love Barca and I do support Barca, and I watch the Spanish La Liga, I won't miss any action. Like, honestly, I won't miss any action. So you guys who do not watch the La Liga, I'm sorry, he's going there. And you might have to pay an extra, premium to watch him play for Barca in the Champions League as well, right? Arsenal have asked for information for Javi Simmons, but we're not the only club. Manchester United and Chelsea have also asked for information on Javi Simmons. His release clause, which is around 6 million euros only, according to Fabrizio Romano, is already active this summer, and the player will decide where he wants to go. Javi Simmons is one of those players that are quite very interesting. He plays as a forward. With Kai Havertz already now signed, unless that deal is going to be around 10 million euros or 20 or 15 million euros, I don't think Arsenal will sign Javi Simmons. But it's quite an interesting, guy on the pitch. I've seen him play for the Netherlands. That is quite a very, very huge jump, given the amount of talents that, Netherlands have at the moment, with the likes of Daniel Malen already, establishing themselves. If you're Javi Simmons and you've had such a very good season, and now you've broken into the Dutch international starting 11, he's done well. He's absolutely done very, very well. But anyway, if I was to advise him, stay at PSV for another season, do what you've done. On a more consistent basis and level now, and then you'll get a very, very good move, just like Cody Gakpo. I'll see you right in the next one. Kai Havertz, he's there. We'll see you right see you in the next one.